discuss this. From Henley is the author and broadcaster Lucy Cavendish. And here in the studio is the food expert Teresa Fowler. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Before we get started, though, a reminder that you can join in the debate too. Tweet us at Sky News, including the hashtag Sky Debate, or me personally at James Secker Sky. Text on 84501 or email news@sky.com. Let us know what you think, or if there are any points you want to put to our guests here. We'll try to read out some of your comments as we go along. Teresa Fowler, to you first of all. As Toby's report there was suggesting, maybe crash diets aren't the bad thing that we've always suggested. Should we be recommending them a lot more than we currently do?
Absolutely not. The problem with crash dieting, as we all know, crash diets, they don't work. Dieting doesn't work. If diets worked, then we'd be doing them all the time and we wouldn't have the obesity problem that we have. Weight is an issue, but only if you have the problem of going back and forth and dieting and restricting yourself and not getting control of what it is to eat real food. That's the problem. We've come away from real food. We're worried about points. We're worried about calories. We're worried about low-fat this. We're worried about dieting that. That's not the issue. The issue is real food, and that's what we have to get back to.
Lucy Cavendish, is this also about motivation? If you lose weight very quickly and it actually works, do you think that does actually help you then keep the weight off because you've seen that you've lost it and you've got something to hold on to, as it were?
I think most women go on crash diets when they have something they particularly want to diet for, and that's when crash diets are relatively useful. For example, going on holiday or going to a wedding or something like that. In terms of dieting, I think the thing is that, I'm talking about women, they do want to see results pretty quickly. So if you lose a few pounds over a couple of weeks by essentially cutting out, say, carbohydrates, that can be a very motivating factor to continue. And it can also be a motivating factor in how to sort of change what you're eating, change your diet, get a bit more active, and do all the things that we know actually helps to lose weight and keep weight off, which is investing in your health, really. And crash diets can help you get to that place quite quickly.
Teresa Fowler, you're talking about real food, but is it the case that these crash diets are perhaps beneficial for some people? This research looked at very obese people. We're not talking about people who perhaps want to go down a dress size or a half a size for a wedding or a big event. We're talking about people who are very, very large. It's having a profound effect on their whole body's health. In those circumstances, would it be something that you would perhaps recommend now that you wouldn't have in the past?
No, absolutely not. The problem with crash dieting is that it's a very quick fix, and yes, you can lose quite a lot of weight in a reasonably small amount of time. But if you are hugely obese, even if you start looking at what you're eating properly, you will lose a quite substantial amount of weight in a short space of time. I mean, I've lost 100 pounds, and those first 50 pounds came off quite quickly once I started looking at what I was eating properly, once I started bringing in the exercise. But you have to have a good relationship with food. The problem that we have is that we look to manufacturers, we look to packaging, we look to, we're conditioned to think that low fat is good and sugar is fine for you, and it's the exact opposite. We have to learn to get back in touch with what real food is. Real food is what nature provided for us, and that's what we need to get back to. Crash dieting's not the way forward.
Thanks very much, Lucy. Teresa, talking about real food, is part of the problem the diet industry itself, that there are so many options out there, there are so many different diets out there. People hear all sorts of different, there's the diet where you can eat chocolate, there's a diet where you can drink wine. Shouldn't it just be that there's one diet, which is eat less, exercise more, and that the government needs to push that message more?